The international break is here, and Fabrizio Romano has given an update on his YouTube channel with regards to Saliba and Alexander Isak. Now, Newcastle had one of the best days yesterday in their recent history. Their first trophy in 56 years. Their first win at Wembley in nearly 70 years, I think the commentator said. And Alexander Isak was at the heart of that yet again. He has been a phenomenal signing for Newcastle. He's delivered in the biggest of games, 3 goals in the League Cup, including in the quarterfinals. Sorry, 2 in the semi-finals and the final. You know, proving to be a big game player. His record this season in terms of at Newcastle in the league and in the cups is ridiculous. 25 games played in the league, 19 goals and 5 assists. 33 games in all comps, 28 goal contributions. And Fabrizio Romano has given an update with regards to Arsenal. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. If we could hit 300 likes on this video, that would be absolutely glorious. Make sure you go over to the second channel, Henry Talks More. Check out the video I did talking about Iriola potentially going to Spurs. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. 90% of you who watch the content every single month are not subscribed. There's absolutely zero excuse. Get down, join the community. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments. And we're about 790 away from 49k. And I can't do the support without you. So thank you very much. Now, a bit of a weird place. And I know he's obviously got a YouTube channel, Fabrizio Romano, but normally wherever he does give his updates, it's normally first on Twitter. Now, we'll start with his update with regards to William Saliba. Now, William Saliba has, of course, got a lot of traction and a lot of interest in Real Madrid. They've been monitoring him. They even think he is the Bellingham of centre-backs. And what a player Jude Bellingham is, what a signing he's turned out to be at Real Madrid. You know, his first season does the double, wins the league title, delivers the assist for the winning goal in the Champions League. Fabrizio Romano says, I don't expect big movements for William Saliba this summer. Internally at Real Madrid, they're monitoring the player. He's considered the Bellingham of defenders, but that isn't normal appreciating a player like Saliba. At the same time, there is Arsenal. He is still 2.5 years left on his contract, so there is no urgency. It's not a dangerous situation for Arsenal. Andrea Berta will want to work on a new contract for Saliba to explain the project and a long-term view, the ambition, and discuss numbers in terms of the contract with the player they want as a crucial part of the project. And William Saliba, for me, is top 5 centre-backs in the world. A lot of people will argue Van Dijk, people, you know, centre-backs like Rudiger, Saliba, Militao, Bastoni. There's some very, very good centre-backs. In terms of him as a player, his pace, his recovery, his defensive IQ, the way he reads the game, you know, rarely does he make a mistake, but of course he does. He's human after all. For me, he's one of the best centre-backs out there, and people forget, and this is what's crazy. William Saliba, of course, we'll have a lot of friends at Madrid. You know, Kylian Mbappe, Tchouameni, Camavinga, Mendy. The guy is only 23 years of age. He's 5, maybe 6 years off his peak. If this is what he's like now, as I wouldn't say a very experienced player, but an experienced player, give it a few years, he may be even better than Van Dijk. He may be better than Rudiger. His ability to read the game, he's one of the best centre-backs in the league. Alongside Gabriel, Arsenal have got one of the best centre-back partnerships in world football. I do think, of course, I agree with what obviously Fab's saying. It's very unlikely he will go this summer, but of course, the longer Arsenal don't go without winning major honours, a lot more people are going to ask questions. He did give an update with regards to Alexander Isak, and he said big, massive proposals will come to the table for Alexander Isak. Arsenal will be there. Liverpool are also there. For Arsenal, he's the absolute top target. Sesko is another name on the list. For Liverpool, he's one of the names they are considering. Now, I only think Alexander Isak joins Liverpool is if Mohamed Salah leaves the football club. I'll be brutally honest. I think Arsenal would have to put down in the region of 120, 130 million pounds. And it almost makes it near on, I don't want to say impossible, but it makes it so unlikely that he would leave if Newcastle get into the top 4 as well. He's just won silverware. The club at the moment are on a massive high. They're probably going to pin him down to a new, or try and pin him down to a new contract. But Declan Rice was in a very similar situation as Alexander Isak, won a trophy, but still left. One similar situation to Newcastle. Won West Ham their first trophy for the first time in 44 years. When clubs come and chuck stupid amounts of money at your feet, sell you the project, sell you the identity and what they want to do as a club, it almost becomes very, very difficult for a player to turn it down. We saw it with Harry Kane, one of my favourite football players I have ever seen in a Spurs shirt. But when big clubs come calling, there's only so much you can do, especially if the player wants to leave as well. I absolutely loved Harry Kane. I loved his work rate. I thought he was such a good, intelligent footballer. He had absolutely everything that we needed from a player: goal scoring, his leadership. Scored even more goals than Alexander Isak. And Bayern Munich come calling, and then that's what happens. Now, if Alexander Isak joins Arsenal, hypothetically, that for me is the game changer in terms of them winning the league. I think Alexander Isak right now, the only number 9 in the world most people would take over him right now in terms of the performances this season. The only other people I think they would take would be Robert Lewandowski and Kylian Mbappe. Those two are in a league of their own right now. Both teams, potentially could do a treble. Both teams battling out in the Champions League. Both teams still in the Copa del Rey. Barcelona last night, at the absolute death, 2 late goals from Lamine Yamal and Ferran Torres. We're in a situation where I generally think that we're in a situation where this summer is massive for so many clubs. The Newcastle hold on to Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak. What happens with Salah and Trent and Van Dijk? What happens with Ange at Tottenham? Do Chelsea go out and get that centre-back goalkeeper and number 9 they need? What happens with Ruben at Man United? Do they understand the system more and go out and drop another 150, 200 million pounds? City's rebuild. There's so many questions and so many teams out there are after an elite number 9. So the competition for Alexander Isak is going to be unbelievably high. Liverpool will be interested. Barcelona will probably be interested. Man United, if he's on the market and they've got the funds, they'll be interested. Chelsea need a striker. Of course, Arsenal are in a much better position than those clubs. They are in a title race. And he, for me, is the final piece. If they go out there and drop 130 million pounds on an Alexander Isak, that is the difference between winning a league title and finishing runner-up. I think Newcastle right now have got a very, very good, strong vantage point in terms of selling him. They've just won silverware. They're guaranteed European football, and they may even get into the Champions League. If they get into the Champions League, for me, it's very, very, very difficult for Arsenal to get him over the line. If they finish in the Europa League or finish outside and get the Conference League for the League Cup, I think it would be very difficult for Newcastle to maybe turn down 120, 130 million pounds. But they're also going to chuck an absolutely insane amount of money at him. They're going to go, they're going to make him one of the highest paid players in the club's, recent history. He's, an absolutely unbelievable player. He really is. And it's very, when you look at Alexander Isak right now, why would Newcastle, in the position they're in, why would they want to sell him? If they pin down Bruno Guimaraes and Isak to long-term contracts and add a few more players themselves, they're not a million miles away from challenging, are they? They're really, really not. I look at it right now in terms of where Arsenal are at. For me, they need a creative midfielder. They need a wide player. Maybe Williams, maybe Zubimendi, maybe another creative player, and Alexander Isak. And that is enough to deliver major honours. Arsenal this summer, there's reports out there that £300 million could be spent. That is absolutely insanity. If they go and spend that amount of money, considering they're not a million miles away themselves from winning the league. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Get over to the TikTok, posting daily content on there as well. And I will see you next time. Thank you all for watching. I am out.